If you are watching this on Monday, February 9th, then there's a BNR update today. And I am really hoping that this is the last Legacy video I ever record that has Taimiyo Inquisitive Student in it. Hello folks, Phil Gallagher aka ThrabenU here for another Legacy video, and while we're in the BNR waiting room, I've got a pretty sweet idea coming to us from Wesley, although it needed a pretty big tune-up. Wesley wanted me to build a deck around Taigam Master Opportunist, which I don't think I have ever seen in action. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, copy it, then exile the spell you cast with 4 time counters on it. If it doesn't have Suspend, it gains Suspend. So the idea with this deck was to either play Taigam or Cori-Steel Cutter on turn 2, and immediately follow it up with a Bobble, either giving you a creature for Cori-Steel Cutter immediately, or triggering Taigam immediately, and beginning a string of card advantage, which will hopefully continue and continue and continue. Now, Wesley's draft has some ambitious things in it. You just don't get to play 5-drops in Legacy. That's just not a thing that you can really do. If it's a 5-drop, it has to look like this and secretly be free at least some portion of the time, like Force of Will and Solitude and things like that. Now, I think Wesley's deck is overly ambitious in trying to play a large number of 3-mana enchantments. And these are 3-mana enchantments that won't necessarily do something immediately. So Caretaker's Talent does nothing on its own. It requires you to have something else like Cori-Steel Cutter going. And similarly, make a 1/1, make a second 1/1, now they're 2/2s with Vigilance is not exciting. So I want to preserve this core of Taigam, Cori-Steel Cutter, and a bunch of baubles, but we need to find something else to do with these slots, and we really need to lower the curve. And as this was called enchantment tokens, I am going to try to keep some enchantments in there, but I have a very different idea about what enchantments they should be. Wesley sent me this as a rough draft, very much knowing that this was going to need a rehaul. And I think that the enchantment that Wesley actually wanted was Stormchaser's Talent. If you have a bunch of otters with prowess, those also play very well into a whole bunch of baubles. And so we're going to slot Taimiyo into the deck because Taimiyo is stupid, and while it's legal, you should probably be playing with it, or at least have your deck built around beating it. And we're going to have a highly efficient deck that can usually play an aggressive turn 1 play and can frequently play a turn 2 tap out threat followed by a bauble. Actually, looking at this, I'm wondering if I should do this. Like, I wonder if the 8 baubles is just so critical to making this work on curve every time. Like, as much as I want to pick up my Stormchaser's Talent again and again and again and again, we don't have a lot of room for stuff in this deck. And the original deck had Daze in the sideboard, just, kind of saying like, all right, sometimes we got to get paired against combo and we can't necessarily just sit around and dirtle all day. So I'm going to preserve that. And we're going to play a very different sort of Izzet deck today. Since we don't have Daze in Game 1, I'm going to throw a basic mountain into the deck so that we can, in some portion of the games, lead on Island Mountain without necessarily being wastelanded immediately. Between Taimiyo and activating the abilities on Stormchaser's Talent, I think we have enough endgame here already. I don't know that this is going to be better than just going, ha ha ha, Murktide Regent, hit you twice, the game is over. But this is, I think, a pretty cool take on an Izzet Cori-Steel Cutter shell. I feel like Orcish Bowmasters is going to kind of eat us alive with this many baubles and the normal 8-ish traditional cantrips. So hopefully we don't get paired against a lot of that. And we'll see how this goes. So folks, if you find you need any new cards, Because of today's B&R update, please consider getting them from my sponsor, TOAMagic.com, and please use my promo code ThrabenU to let them know that I sent you and that they should keep supporting my content. You're going to get great customer service, free shipping, and you do so while supporting me. Everybody wins. All right, let's battle. All right, opening hand is solid. Oh, that volume is way too loud. Let's turn that down. All right, opposing Taimiyo means that I need to Lightning Bolt immediately. Which is kind of sad because I have two very good 1-drops that I would otherwise like to be playing. Volcanic Island, and hopefully goodbye Taimiyo. Yeah. Now we see if my opponent's Taimiyo goes wild and takes over this game. There's a very good chance that the answer is yes. I'm also a little sad, that I have Wasteland here. I trimmed one Wasteland from a traditional Izzet Tempo mana base because I knew that multi-spelling was very important in this deck. Alright, Taimiyo's a Planeswalker. I need to resolve this and make some creatures that can actually get in for damage on Taimiyo. So let's not get my Stormchaser's talent dazed here. And get this in. And then hopefully next turn I draw a land. Opponent has their own land. Taimiyo pluses to 6 already. I think I make another body. I really want to brainstorm. Hit the land drop and do something anyway. If there's a lightning bolt here, this is already kind of disastrous. I'm going to try to hit this land drop. Okay, cool. I'm going to put a Taimiyo back. Probably a land back afterwards, despite the fact that I would not mind another land. Let's grab a Volk. I will cast a thing that gives me another Otter. And I will get in, hopefully, for some damage on Taimiyo here. I'll reduce it by 1. Alright. So Taimiyo no longer in immediate range of ultimating, which is good. Murktide Regent would be bad. Ooh, opponent is Grixis. Cori-Steel Cutter. I probably have to say no to that. I think I'm going to pitch my Taimiyo here, despite the fact that Taimiyo is quite good. Alright, cool. So now hopefully I just do some Boomerang Basics crimes, and yeah, Taimiyo came back. Alright, Boomerang Basics on Stormchaser's talent. Prowess triggers. Land drop. Ooh. Now I can play this a little differently. Not how I was intending on playing this turn out. This is what's happening now. We'll just immediately flip this Taimiyo. Taigam is slow here. It's not terrible. I think I just have inevitability in leveling up Stormchaser's talents already. Taimiyo flips plus here. We don't quite kill Taimiyo, but I think knocking my opponent's Taimiyo down to 2 loyalty while creating my own Taimiyo that can minus for Lightning Bolt seems very good. Alright. That's only a 1/1 right now. Ooh. So I can Lightning Bolt that. And probably need to Lightning Bolt that before it gets bigger. Let's minus on Lightning Bolt. Lightning Bolt the Moon Shadow. I successfully take it out. I will ponder now. I know I probably don't want this. Cori-Steel Cutter. Cori-Steel Cutter's okay. I'd almost rather prefer something that I can just cast this turn. I think I'll just take Cori-Steel Cutter. Any non-land card gets me to triggering that next turn. Then I will cast this. Get yet another Otter. Go to Punchies. And probably end my opponent's Taimiyo. Alright, success. Another DRC. That's fine. Hopefully the Otters just attack through those. This is scarier long term. I'll lose my Taimiyo here. That's fine. So Moonshadow, currently a 2/2. Now I will Surveil with Thundering Falls. Force of Will I do not want right now. Just want any castable spell for Cori-Steel Cutter and Otters. Okay, nice. So, bam bam, triple prowess trigger. Ponder, get 4 triggers. Yes. A lightning bolt. Absolutely. Then I'll be out of gas for Taigam, so I will use my next turn to level up a Stormchaser's talent. So bam, bam, bam. Don't use Ponder's ability. Is my opponent dead if I just hit? 4, 8, 12, plus 3, 15, plus 3, 18. Not quite, but very close. I think I'll just send in and see what my opponent does with blocks. Okay, so now I will make my otter survive while killing a moon shadow. Seems good. I'm very glad to have drawn those lightning bolts when I did and just directly answered my opponent's cards. All right, there's a Murktide Regent. I'm not actually too worried about. So this was still forced to attack. I'll take 3. So Stormchaser's talent, level up. I'll target a Boomerang Basics. Boomerang Basics and Lightning Bolt are both great here. I will return a Murktide Regent to hand and then swing in for lethal, also getting another creature off of Cori-Steel Cutter. Wow, that was a good first game for this deck. My opponent's deck looks sweet. Like, they have a varied threat suite, Taimiyo, Moonshadow, DRC, Cori-Steel Cutter, Murktide Regent. That's a lot of different things to handle at the same time. How did I end up with a Pyroclasm instead of a second Pyroblast in the sideboard? Let the record show this is supposed to be a second Pyroblast, not a Pyroclasm. Pyroclasm is very bad in my token deck. Okay, well, that happened. So I can bring in a few more removal spells. Really wish I had that second Pyroblast. I guess this means I'm going down Force of Wills. Do I want 1 Daze? Or do I just want 1 hard nope to an endgame creature? Let's go 1 hard nope. I need another land. I think I keep this one, but I do need another land. If I hit the land, I have Cori-Steel Cutter or Taigam on turn 2 to start spiraling, which I like a lot. There is a DRC. I'm going to remove that immediately and hope that I do not get wastelanded. All right, very nice. All right, cool. Not wasteland. Yes. Land drop naturally would be awesome. Damn. Okay, so now what? I think hitting the land drop is important. All right, I succeed. Get that Scalding Tarn. Fetch. Get the Valk. I think I'm just going to remove it immediately. My opponent didn't have a Daze last turn. Let's hope they don't have one this turn. Very nice. And I'm going to hold this to try to do the thing. I'm not sure which one of these I play on turn 2. Like, if my opponent plays Taimiyo, I probably play Cori-Steel Cutter. Okay, well, there we go. My own Taimiyo. All right, well, here's a Cori-Steel Cutter. Here's a Bobble. A yes. See what's going on. Oh, Murktide Regent. I don't answer that right now. I will take my redraw. There's not instants and sorceries specifically in the graveyard right now. If my opponent plays a Murktide, it won't be big. It will just be a 3/3. And that would be fine. Alright, opponent is just chilling. Stormchaser's talent, Stormchaser's talent. Set up the prowess machine. Just yield all of these. Pyroblast, acceptable. Now do I ponder to hit a land drop? I now don't hate pondering to hit a land drop. Cori-Steel Cutter trigger. Yes. Yeah, I will take a real land drop here. And fetch. Get a new Valk. Play Stormchaser's talent again. That's enough to get a response. Killing a monk. Sure. Still don't have a plan for Murktide Regent, who is probably coming now. 14. The Murktide will be outside of Lightning Bolt range. I've used my Dismember. I have a Boomerang Basics and a Pyroblast instead of the 2 Pyroblasts that I want. I guess the plan is go wide of it with double Cori-Steel Cutter. Fuck. That plan just got a lot harder. Taimiyo pluses. Taigam is slow here. If I had 1 more land, copying Cori-Steel Cutter in the long term would be pretty fucking cool, but I don't. So, Cori-Steel Cutter, trigger. Taimiyo. Triggers. Mishra's Bobble. Triggers. So if So these are really all 2/2s. So I need to send 3 of these at Taimiyo to kill Taimiyo, and then I can send 1 at face. Alright, large number of Taimiyo triggers. Opponent takes out an Otter. Taimiyo dies. I take a Bauble redraw. Opponent is getting a Pyroblast, which can answer my Taimiyo. Bauble redraw. Okay, very nice. If my opponent holds up Pyroblast, I have better Taimiyo lines. Alright, opponent is holding back. So now all I need to do is vomit spells. Am I playing Taigam? I think I am. Alright, so my opponent is just going to Pyroblast that. I think I accept that. I think I just cast this now, despite the fact that it means that I don't get the Taimiyo clue on attack, because I just make the Cori-Steel Cutter tokens. So I'm not going to do the math, but I assume that Lightning Bolt kills my opponent. Plus, send on in. Opponent blocks. 3, 6, 9, 12. Yeah. Hold your face. And that was a 2-0 victory, where things were scary with my opponent playing things like Moonshadows and Murktide Regents, but we looked at a lot of cards and did the thing. Taigam there would have copied a Brainstorm for later, which would be fine if this match drug on for a little while longer, and it baited the Pyroblast so that my Taimiyo was saved. GG's. Today's video is sponsored by Moxfield.com. If you're looking to store your decks online, you're not going to find a better website. It's super organized and easy to use, and I sort everything that I do into a ton of format-specific folders, and you can customize the way that you use Moxfield to your liking. Whether you like text views or visual views of multiple different natures, Moxfield has it all. And it's so easy to use, you might even say that it's a snap. All right, I would call my opening hand pretty mid here. I think I'm just believing in my blue deck to spit up a land, a 0-cost thing, another cantrip, whatever, to keep this hand rolling. With double Lightning Bolt and Cori. You know what else I fucking want gone today? Okay, you know what? If you are not playing Oops and you are playing a regular black deck, I can stop this rant. So we're going to put this rant on pause for just a second. Oh, it's Storm? Alright, we don't have to do the Oops All Spells rant. Oh, no, we do have to do the Oops All Spells rant. Fuck this deck. This deck fucking sucks. Get it out of my goddamn format. We have had multiple opportunities to yeet this shit from the format, and for some reason, Wizards of the Coast wants to protect this play pattern. I don't fucking get it. I'm not sitting through this shit. Alright. Counter spells. Counter spells. Counter spells. Surgical Extraction. Bolts are gonna go. Boomerang Basics are gonna go. I probably go down some number of threats. These two reduce my opponent's life total to 0. I have to keep them. Taigam is probably the weak link. I cut 1 Cori-Steel Cutter. Maybe I cut 1 Cori-Steel Cutter. Yeah, this is fine. I'm going to hope that Daze plus Surgical is enough for turn 1 to allow me to play Thundering Falls as my land drop. Bobble. I'll say no to. It's okay. Ball Therapy resolves. Naming Force of Will, which I do not have. Sure. Yep. Okay. And that's happening. That'll slow me down a bit, but I'm less likely to die to combo stuff here. Do I get Cori-Steel Cutter going? Probably. Let's get my redraw. Yeah. Okay, got it. No attack into Cecil. Redraw a Bobble. One's going to go ahead and attack. That's fine. I can probably overwhelm a 4/4 life linker. And this causes my opponent to lose life as well in the short term. Douthy. Normally when you see the packs in game 1, it does not indicate creatures because you can't use the packs to back up the creatures. So this is a little frustrating. But yeah, that resolves. What's my plan here? It's always Wasteland this. I think I need to cast 2 spells here. So there's Bobble Prowess trigger. Let's surgically extract to trigger Cori-Steel Cutter. Take this out, this out, this out. Oh yeah, my opponent has full yeeted into creatures. So their combo is not even in the deck anymore. Got it. Then I'm going to go ahead and redraw. We know about that. Counter spells are not what I am looking for. I want things that are castable here. I want this consign, but I can't protect it in the way that I want to. I might just be double dazing this Thoughtseize for a monk token here. So trigger. Don't really have anything super interesting for Douthie Voidwalker. Alright. Opponent is going to pay. So then I will daze the Thoughtseize, trigger Cori-Steel Cutter, and counter that. Alright, opponent just continuing to go full aggro here. I think I'm going to let this hit happen. My opponent loses 2, go to 8, and I just want to draw a cantrip here. Fail. Frustrating. I will just drop a land drop. Yeah, my whole plan was to consign this trigger. Keep this from flipping, easily win. That Thoughtseize really messed me up. Sure. So this also does give Douthie Voidwalker indestructible. That's not super relevant. So much of this just depends on what I draw. I think I'm going to just quad block and hope that I get spells that let me race Douthie Voidwalker. Nope. Alright. Take 3 to the attack. Don't have another surveil land. Cool. Go to 2 on the next attack. Need to remove Douthie, which I don't think I can do. Alright. Fuck this deck. Get it out of this format. Game. Alright. Paired against one of the Discord regulars, who is probably going to be on Red Prison. I 100% am keeping the hand. I think given my opponent's affinity for Blood Moons, I very, very, very reluctantly get Basic Island on the first turn, so that I am not locked out of my spells if my opponent Blood Moons. I will be quite bad against Chalice, unfortunately. So we'll play Taimiyo first. I can funnel mana into clues till I find something like a Cori-Steel Cutter. Ancient Tomb. Chalice on 1. Alright, we're very bad against that. Hopefully this does work, though. Hey, bud. Holy shit. You're amazing. Like, non-ironically, Taigam is exactly what I need here. Wait, hold on. Is that true? So, I cast a spell. Active player trigger goes on the stack, which is my Taigam copy. Non-active player goes on the stack, which is Chalice of the Void. Does Taigam still need to be on the stack? Does the spell still need to be on the stack? Does not look like it. There's not a target. Fury is good. So goodbye, Taimiyo. Where's your land? Alright. I hope it is not a mistake to not waste land immediately. First spell. Second spell. So I keep the copy, and then we have this suspend thing coming in the future. Alright, there is another land for my opponent. This game is likely to go on long enough that the suspended cards actually come off of suspend. I'm hoping for no soul land here. Nice. Get rid of that. Backup Chalice. Hexing Squelcher. Okay. Now my Taigam doesn't get to attack. Suspend ticks down. So, do I want a Taimiyo? Always wastelanding. Yeah. So first spell. Second spell. Chalice counters the original. Now, do I still get the copy? I do still get the copy, but we don't get the version with suspend hanging out there. See what you're drawing next. Another Chalice, which is fine. My opponent does not know that I don't really have as many counterspells as normal. I think from their perspective, they don't block this. Yeah. Cool. We get 2 points of damage there. Another Taigam. Legendary. But that's not the best. Okay, Chalice on 0 actually is a heads-up play. Ooh. Sure. So I can go ahead and block the Squelcher just fine. Taimiyo may end up on defensive duty. So suspend ticks down, a new land drop. What do I want? I don't really want to remove Screaming Nemesis. I think I'm removing Squelcher. So I will cast a spell, yeet it to Chalice. Alright. Lightning Bolt, target Squelcher, and now there's some triggers. So this is getting countered by Chalice anyway, so I don't play the ward cost here. I don't need to pay that life. Chalice attempts to counter it, it's not there. Then Taigam makes the copy of it. Same targets. Yeah, this doesn't have a you may choose new targets for the copies like some of these things often do. That's important to keep in mind for the future. Taimiyo investigates. Opponent is top decking. I think I am currently ahead, but that can spin so quickly. Fuck. Taking 6 now. I'm at 8. Bobble ticks down. So I can transform a Taimiyo and buy time. I think that's what's happening. Really need something like a Cori-Steel Cutter here. So yeet a spell to Chalice. Cast a Brainstorm. Chalice counters it. Then Brainstorm to flip Taimiyo. Taigam goes. Taimiyo goes. Oh, fuck, that was a Taimiyo copy. That wasn't a real Taimiyo. Shit, I forgot about that. Fuck, that was bad. Alright, I need to track that for the future. I go to 2. And these being difficult to block is a problem. My opponent hit the 1 ring as well. I don't know what just happened there. Oh, I think my opponent attempted to cast a Spirit Guide and exiled it for mana instead. You can control Z, a Spirit Guide, just as a heads up. Land probably not getting me to where I need to go. I have clues, I can't use them. I now get my Suspended Mishra's Bauble. I will cast my Suspended Mishra's Bauble. Fuck, jealous. Cori-Steel Cutter. Now the second spell, I can copy a Cori-Steel Cutter, which normally would be cool, but I'm just dead to the Screaming Nemesis. GG. Very strange game. Answer to Chalice, answer to creature, and consider these. Chalice is so much better against my build than it is against this deck normally. We don't have like the top end Murktide Regents that just win the game in 2 shots. Taigam does neat things versus Chalice, but I think I am in need of getting 7 cards in here, and it's a little hard to do that. I think I'm going down Taigam and some number of baubles. Then I'm not bad against Chalice on 0 and Chalice on 1. Just bad against Chalice on 1. Yes. Meltdown is insurance versus Chalice of the Void. Cori-Steel Cutter can win the game, hopefully by itself. This doesn't have one of my aggressive 1-drops or a Daze, which would have been the things that I was looking for. Yes. That's something that I catch in a Meltdown at some point. Wow, Broadside got pitched there. Blood Moon will resolve. I don't think I counter that. That sets my opponent back a mana. Yeah, I'm good with that. We'll make multi-spelling a little harder, but you can just resolve, and I can bounce you if I need to. Nice. So, I will play a basic mountain, a Cori-Steel Cutter, an Urza's Bauble, trigger Cori-Steel Cutter, do this for a redraw and a little information. Fable, sure. Send in for 2. Opponent to 16. Take my redraw. Hydroblast is very strong. So I just Force of Will this to leverage my tempo. Missed that. So actually, this is a little weird. I want to just melt down that Chrome Mox. Stick my opponent on 2 mana. I'm not sure if I Hydroblast a threat, or if I Hydroblast, Brainstorm, and attack in for more damage, leaving my opponent with Ancient Tomb. I think either are viable ways to do this. I'm going to hit the Blood Moon. Then I will fetch Brainstorm. These are good cards. Cori-Steel Cutter Ponder or Cori-Steel Cutter Taimiyo next turn. Ponder is more damage. Taimiyo is Taimiyo. I think Ponder. Yeah, we will go ahead and do a Meltdown for 2 more points of damage and destroying a Chrome Mox. Send in for 7. Opponent to 9, which is probably much closer to 5 than my opponent would like. That is the One Ring. That buys my opponent some time. Given that play, I now wish I had Taimiyo on top instead of Ponder. I'm not actually getting the damage out of Ponder this turn. Get a whole bunch of triggers yet again. Taimiyo Brainstorm. Seems fine. My opponent gets a One Ring Fog. So they are down to 6 with an Ancient Tomb in play. They are refueled. City of Traders helps a lot. Romox. Opponent might be able to avoid tapping Ancient Tomb. A Dead Gone under there. Got a 6 mana play. Oh no, we've got a big play. Must be like a Shatter Skull Smashing. This card is a pain in the butt to cast for X equals 6 or more on Magic Online. It is very unintuitive. Okay, yeah, so my opponent successfully cast the spell. GG. So now that I am on the draw, I might just want the Force of Negations to get me past turn 1, because my dazes aren't as good at stopping my opponent's stuff. I'll turn a Bauble into 1. I think that's it. So I really want my opening hand to have a pitch counter here. If I don't have a pitch counter, I need something powerful. What about Meltdown? Meltdown answers Chalice, which is something that I am scared about. I don't have the guaranteed second land for Cori-Steel Cutter immediately. Dead to Blood Moon. Hand's okay. I think I can do better. This is better. I'm going to keep this and pitch the Bauble. That is a Chalice. I think I have to counter that. I'm going to force pitching the Brainstorm, presuming that the Force of Will is still probably good later, even though my opponent is a Hexing Squelcher deck. Ooh, yeah. Let's get the basic. The sooner I have a clock in play, the better. With that draw, I wish I had the Brainstorm over the Force. Opponent down to 15 already. Magus. Yeah, I can Hydroblast that at my convenience and get prowess damage for it. You've got it. So the question then becomes, do I actually Hydroblast it? I think I do. It's worth 4 points of damage. So I blow up Magus, which gives me 2 damage from the Otter and 2 damage from Ancient Tomb. And then I can use a Surveil Land to try to find something that makes my Otter do more damage. So I think I just accept that. There's a Blood Moon. I don't super care about that. The best thing that does is make Ancient Tomb not hurt my opponent. Lightning Bolt. I'd say that's an above average draw. I don't know that I need to Lightning Bolt my opponent's face immediately. I have some draws, like Cori-Steel Cutter, where having the Lightning Bolt later matters. There are also lines where I end up returning that Lightning Bolt. Opponent saves a lot of life this turn by having the Blood Moon. Magus is fine. I'll Lightning Bolt that on my own turn. Get prowess damage in. Cool. Bolt Magus. Prowess trigger. Send in. Opponent to 6. It's a big play. It is getting exiled. Get out of there. I just need to push the tiniest bit of damage here. That does not help me do that. That is not a land for Stormchaser's talent. That said, Dismember is not a horrible draw. Removing a creature and pushing 1 extra Otter damage is okay. I think I let that resolve. I think I let it hit me for 2. Alright, opponent is holding it back. Great. I am almost certainly dismembering this creature, but let's see if anything changes my mind here. Next turn I just play and equip Cori-Steel Cutter. Or maybe I just hold Daze in hand. Maybe holding Daze in hand is better. So 4 life, Dismember Broadside, 3 points of Otter damage. Opponent to 2. Disruptor Flute resolves. Naming Brainstorm. Now I just cast Cori-Steel Cutter, and that gives me the prowess trigger I need for lethal. And we have gotten the GG in chat. So Anubis, I'm not sure what your exact sideboard looks like, but I wonder if it was correct to not go down the whole Blood Moon, Magus of the Moon route. That is something a lot of times that I board out versus Izzet Delver decks because they very aggressively get the island, and once you have the island, you don't super care about it. It's just an inconvenience. GG's. Alright, my opening hand is pretty borderline. I really need more mana. I don't have a cantrip to select for that mana. I am on the draw. I have a Force of Will to buy time if I miss. I think I'm gonna keep it. Underground Sea and Taimiyo. I will fight over that with Lightning Bolt rather than Force of Will. So let's fetch and bolt. Daze. I think I'll just say no here. Pitching Taigam. Oh, are we gonna fight further? If we fight further, you win this fight. Okay, cool. And I think I'm just going to cycle this immediately because I would love to hit a land drop to deploy both of my cards next turn. Polluted Delta. Given that this is an Underground Sea matchup, I can probably wait until my turn to do that, although that's the exact reason to do it earlier. Land. Negative. I'm going to try to hit the land drop here, and I'm also going to try to cast a cantrip before Bowmaster gets involved. No. Come on. Never didn't have it. I wasn't worried at all. 17, Valk, and I think Taimiyo. All right, Taimiyo resolves very quickly there. We will Force of Will to protect Taimiyo for sure. Yep. Pitch the Stormchaser's talent. All right, opponent is going to fight back, or at least attempt to. Look for a counter spell. We really need the Taimiyo clue here. I'm very low on gas. My deck does not want to Force of Will multiple times. Ooh, hot damn. Nice. That's a big deal. We will send in Taimiyo and probably just crack the clue immediately in case I hit an otter. I didn't, but that's a way to draw a third card. I'll take it. Wasteland instead. And we start this sub-game. I don't get to Wasteland this turn. I'm not great versus a larger creature like a Murktide Regent or a Barrowgoyf. Alright. Goodbye, Lightning Bolt. 17. Taimiyo. You get to Brainstorm now? Yeah, everyone gets to Brainstorm. Healthy card, healthy play patterns. And notably, Taimiyo goes to 4, so I can't just Lightning Bolt Taimiyo out of here. My opponent still has 2 cards left. I only have 1. Bobble is not what I'm looking for. I can Taimiyo minus for a cantrip. See what's going on in your hand. Yeah. Him. I will not Taimiyo minus for a cantrip then. I will Taimiyo plus. I think I'll Wasteland you. I have more mana than I know what to do with right now. If I bobble, that is a card that my opponent can take with him. And they do. But they need a threat here. Taimiyo's to 6. Do I ponder? Boomerang basics your Taimiyo so it doesn't ultimate after mine ultimates. Sure. Boomerang basics Taimiyo. Plus my Taimiyo to 8. Opponent fetches. Prevails. And passes. So I will Wasteland one of your lands. And do this thing and hopefully don't die. Bowmasters. Yeah. Hate to see it. So those are all individual triggers. I'm going to confirm that there's 16, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 16, plus some change. This is a pain for my opponent to click through. Okay, they figured out how to auto-yield it and save all targets. Yep, there's not an out for me to that. Yep, we are dead because my opponent has Bowmasters. GG. Again, wish I had the other Pyroblast versus Pyroclasm. Whoops. Probably will play a Dismember. Playing the Force of Wills felt pretty bad there. I'll play a couple of Dazes. Right, I am fine with keeping this opening hand. It seems solid. I can get a basic on turn 1 as well. I think I lead on Taimiyo under the assumption that Taimiyo is a dumb Magic the Gathering card. Yeah. I'll save this for 2, where I can play Taigam and then Bobble. And we'll see whether or not this game actually goes on. Oh, now I need to play this card pre-combat. I don't want to have to, like, daze to protect Taimiyo mid-combat and then not have my second spell be Mishra's Bobble. Now I get the Taigam trigger. Go to combat with Taimiyo. There's some tension about using Mishra's Bobble for, like, him to Turok reasons and Bowmaster reasons. Alright, we know a Murktide Regent is coming. I don't have all that many answers to that card. I'll take my redraw. Second land drop. Opponent is passing. Spend ticks down. Now we're doing stuff. There's a Bowmasters. I think I will float a mana and daze that. That's my first spell. It resolves. Now I will crack my clue. I can transform Taimiyo if I want. Opponent to 16. Kind of just want to play Stormchaser's talent and work on getting my opponent dead since I'm not the best at answering Murktide. Like, that is probably not going to be dazeable by the time it's cast. Doldred's Edict. I think I just have another Taimiyo. I think I'll keep Taigam. So both things tick down with Suspend. Lightning Bolt is fine. So land drop. Taimiyo first spell. Stormchaser's talent second spell. Alright, Taigam kind of going off. I might just ponder here for the sake of using my mana. Double prowess triggers on the otters. A daze, sure. Spend in 4, 5. Opponent's at 11. I have 3 queued up spells. And I'm hoping that I will just, like, Lightning Bolt my opponent's face and attack through a Murktide Regent for lethal. So there's the land drop to cast Murktide. Oh, hold on a minute. I don't like that. If I draw Boomerang Basics, that would be cool. Bobble trigger. Bolt plus any of these being blocked kills Goyf. So yeah. Taimiyo trigger. Opponent blocks Taigam. This is my second spell. So trigger prowess. Queue up a lightning bolt for later. Alright. Take out Goyf. My opponent's life total does go down. I will draw a card with a clue while Bowmaster isn't involved. Prowess matter next turn. Let's see what my opponent is drawing. Shit. Alright, let's try to find, like, Force of Will plus blue card or a Daze here. Oh my god. Please don't Bowmaster me as well. Alright. None of those cards do what I need them to do. There's another land drop, so that can now be Barrogoyf around a Daze. Thanks, I hate it. So I now start getting the Taigam value from earlier in the game. So there's my first spell, Otter triggers. It's a little awkward with playing one of these now. I think I just brainstorm now, despite not getting the Taimiyo clue. How big I get these otters matters, whether or not I find Boomerang Basics matters, whether or not I find a Lightning Bolt matters. Cori-Steel Cutter. Absolutely not casting my second spell here. I can get the otters to 5/5s. That's not enough. I think Taigam and land go back. I transform this. I do this. I do this. I fetch to clear. Pick up a land. I think we are just brainstorming immediately, looking for an out to the Barrogoyf. Pyroblast is not going to do it, but that can answer a Murktide. So that's something. I think I'm going bam, bam, Cori-Steel Cutter, cycle that, a land, one short of these being able to rumble with that Goyf, unfortunately. I don't have anything in graveyard that answers the Goyf either. Attacking my face. Am I willing to let them have that trigger? It's pretty bad if they find a Barrogoyf. I'm gonna let them have that trigger. The easiest way for me to win is to do something crazy with these otters. Okay, there is a Taimiyo. Opponent takes it. Land drop. You've got your Taimiyo. This is going to be the Murktide that I intend to Pyroblast. Resolves. So we know my opponent's last card is Kaito. I am getting a Stormchaser's talent here. So yeah. First spell. Trigger. I wonder if I can just kill my opponent here. I'm just going to start doing it. I'm not going to do the math. So destroy target Murktide Regent. A gajillion D-triggers go on the stack. Yes. You go bye-bye. Taimiyo minus on that Pyroblast. Destroy that Taimiyo. 4, 8, 9, 10, 11. If I clue into a bobble, I kill. Let's do that. A Cori-Steel Cutter. Sure. Send on in. Bloodstained Mire no longer online. I have another Stormchaser's talent coming next turn. Opponent effectively at 6 life. Opponent attacks. So I have, assuming I cast Stormchaser talent and Cori-Steel Cutter, I have a lot of damage. I think I just block. Opponent to 6. There's Kaito. I presume that Kaito stuns a monk. Okay, stuns an otter instead. Same deal. Oh, there is another play. And a Taimiyo. Sure. Lightning Bolt down to 1. Stormchaser's talent, which I will cast despite some of the awkwardness with Cori-Steel Cutter there. Triggers. Make otter. Another Taigam. No removal spell here is rough. With 1 more mana, I have a removal spell. Taigam's a pretty bad draw there. I will go ahead and cast a Cori-Steel Cutter, get a billion triggers. So now I just equip a Cori-Steel Cutter here and attack for lethal. Bam. Back all at face. What an impressive game for Taigam. Now, that's not the match. We still have to do that again. And I used a lot of clock trying to figure out what to do there. So I need to play the next game faster. Barrogoyf is a problem. I might need Force of Wills in respect of Barrogoyf. Maybe go down 2 Taigams. The game has to go really long for them to be good. And it did, admittedly. We got 3 cards off of Taigam triggers. I don't love this hand. I don't think I am getting rid of it, but I don't love this hand. I think it's just too important to be able to answer turn 1 Taimiyo, and a hand that can do that, I think I just keep, because this card's dumb and format warping. My own Taimiyo. I will answer yours first. Pay some life here. Alright, success. 2 mana. Damn it. Force of Will Taimiyo. Okay, we answered 2 Taimiyos. I now have 2 Taimiyos. Taimiyo number 1. Alright, in play. I've used a lot of resources to get through the first turn cycle, though. Or rather, first 2 turn cycles. I'm down 4 life from Dismember, another from Force of Will, and an extra card from Force of Will. So I need one of my 2 Taimiyos to live, or I think I'm in trouble. Alright, 1 Taimiyo down. 3rd land drop, and Barrogoyf. That is admittedly a pretty big problem. And now I don't have any setup time here. I will keep Brainstorm as additional looks. Man, I used the Dismember already. This is very bad. This is very, very, very bad. There's a Boomerang Basics. I can bounce it out of play, but I can't permanently answer it. In Taigam, we trust. That this is the plan. So, I play Taigam with the line of Boomerang Basics the Goyf next turn. I then make a copy of it that can bounce it again later on in the game. I think this one's over. My opponent has won the creature battle, and now they get another Goyf or a Taimiyo immediately. Oh, I think we're done here. Like, now, bouncing the Goyfs is just not realistic. I'm going to Brainstorm and see if I hit something that can go wide, like Cori-Steel Cutter. Okay, I do. But I don't think this set of cards gets me there. So I can play a Cori-Steel Cutter, do nothing with it immediately, take another hit. My opponent has 2 Goyfs. I can play Stormchaser's talent, Boomerang Basics the Goyf. My opponent redeploys 1. Alright, I guess that's the line. So attempt to bounce this out of play. Resolve an otter. Don't resolve an otter. Okay, surveil's fine. Saying no to a land. Days. Okay, I think we're done. I think I am not beating double Goyf from there without like the ability to return one of these things. We had a really cool game too, but Barrow Goyf is a beating for this deck. Noted. GG's. Alright, we've got another one of these hands that really needs one more mana to function. It may be that this deck, I think I'm running 20 lands, it may be that this deck needs a 21st land. No, I'm running 19. Would be okay with a 20th land in this deck, I think. Especially with the Stormchaser's talent endgame. Opponent takes my Cori-Steel Cutter. I'm gonna believe. I can look at a decent number of cards one way or another. Although I will go ahead and just do this now. And get one more look at a land before Bowmaster can start being a thing. Emperor of Bones. Alright. So we are in brew territory of some kind. I do get wastelanded. Pretty big punish. And another Goyf. Alright, so we are stalled out in the short term. So is opponent actually a blue deck? Or are they mono black? Yeah. I can't cast any of these spells. This spell does nothing. I think they're better off just casting an Emperor of Bones there and getting another body on board. I will take 2. Technically a land. And this is why I shaved Wasteland in this deck. Marsh Flats. Oh, wow. Okay, that's spicy. So Palantir trigger. No, you don't get to draw a card. Yeah, I'll take 2. That's fine. Yeah. I'm still, like, not dead yet if I hit land. I'm just in very bad shape. I think I get one more draw. No. Force of Will that. Yeah, you can wasteland me. I'll take 3. You do not get to draw cards. Down to 6. That's fine. This is my turn where I have to draw the land. Alright, I am comfortable conceding here then. Alright, we just did not play Magic. In terms of play patterns, it's really awkward to need to play Stormchaser's talent on 1 to maximize your damage over the course of the game when you want to stabilize your mana in the opening turns with cantrips. And the solution to that is just play another land or 2 in the deck. Dismember in. Do I play the Pyroclasm? It kills Dalthies and Bowmasters. It feels like I just need to insert 4 more answers to Barrowgoyf so that I don't lose to that card, which is really unfortunate because I would like to play more with this because it's fun. But my deck gets smoked by Barrowgoyf. Unholy Heat was something else I considered for the sideboard. Yeah, this is totally fine. Do I fetch a basic on 1? I don't think so. And I don't think I'm playing this immediately. I might play that around turn 3, where it represents damage off of both otters. Yeah, that's fine. I would say this is in fact actively good for me, because I'm going to essentially start the game with 2 copies of Stormchaser's talent in play. That's fine too. I think I will crack the Bauble now, though, in hopes of hitting the next land drop. What do you got? Position Agent. Good to know about. Not particularly castable right now. Opponent to 17. I take a redraw. My hand is cracked if I get another land. No movement from my opponent here. I do get the other land. The land drop. There's Taimiyo. We're going to do this nonsense pre-combat. Get Volk. Cast Brainstorm. Double Prowess triggers. Oh, very nice. Cori-Steel Cutter not super usable right now. Let's put that one 2 deep then. Transform Taimiyo. Taimiyo plus Punchies for 4. I'm pretty happy with how this is going. Surveil land is fine. Next land drop. I'm in a position where I'm very close to I daze anything that moves. And I think I'm going to make it look like I am falling into a Bowmaster trap here, when in reality I just want to cast a daze for 2 more points of damage. Yup. So there's 2 more points of damage off Bowmasters. Thank you, daze. I'm kind of okay with all of these cards. You don't do anything immediately. I think I'm just going to go Bam, bam. Fetch. Clear the way for Ponder again. Add 2 more damage to the board. Yeah. Bam, bam, bam. No shuffle. Ponder one more time. Want to find a 0-drop. Did not find. I think I'll just shuffle Brainstorms. They're bad versus Bowmasters. Plus, I could just win right now. Boomerang Basics. Sure. That bounces most things that my opponent can play. Send in for 5. Opponent to 2. I think this is just a I have double days available situation. Way to go, little otters. All right, there is a 3rd land drop. Sure. That's fine. I'll just Boomerang Basics a Stormchaser's Talent and have lethal. Plus Taimiyo for no good reason. Blooded Strand. Boomerang Basics a Stormchaser's Talent. Alright, that was a rather dominant game. And in terms of the turn counter here, something to think about is if we play Taigam on 2, and if the game is over before turn 6, Taigam does not actually generate any value. Just looks like it does. Alright, I'm fine running this back. This is another one of those hands where I don't quite have enough mana to start with, but I don't know that I throw it back because I have very good 1-drops. Like, I don't know that you throw back Taimiyo Brainstorm with Force of Will backup. You can Thoughtseize me, that's fine. We'll still have a good turn 1 play no matter what. Taimiyo goes. Unsurprising. Good card is good. 2nd Force of Will to back up Taimiyo, very nice. I will play out Stormchaser's Talent. So with Stormchaser's Talent instead of Taimiyo, I might be Force of Willing pitching Force. Awkward. I will pay 1 life to make sure that I keep a Brainstorm for if I miss a land drop. Him that Turok succeeds in getting 2 cards. That is not the land drop that I want there. That's quite awkward. Should I even be playing Wasteland at all? Oh my god. Okay. Very awkward. Land drop, send in for 2. Yeah, I wonder if with like Taimiyo Closing and Stormchaser's Talent, as mana sinks, if we don't need to be playing Wasteland, at least not in these numbers. Oh, this is a disaster. Like, I know that my top cards aren't particularly good either. I think I just need to cast this Ponder. Like, you can have the Bowmaster trigger. Cool. Volcanic Island is going on top. And I think I'm not doing this. Bam. Do I fetch now just to try to find something that triggers Cori-Steel Cutter that is, or removes Bowmasters? Sure. You ping me. I think it is worth playing Cori-Steel Cutter now. And do I do that? Makes multi-spelling harder. I think I accept that. I now don't want to see Barrowglyph. Contending with Bowmaster and Barrowglyph at the same time is a big problem. Fuck. Oh, deck. Alright. Stormchaser's Talent, level up for 4 mana. I think returning a Ponder. Force of Will is justifiable there. I think my plan is get this to 6. That doesn't feel good. Fuck off with these things. That Pyroclasm though. I take 4 and go to 8. Miss on the land drop. I take a minimum of 5 more from this stuff. Yeah, I think my opponent's got it here. Woof. So that means overall this was a 2-3 finish to the league. Alright, let's go ahead and wrap this one up. Overall thoughts on the deck list. Well, number 1, let's just make this change before I update this and bring it to my Mox field. That should be 2 Pyroblasts, not 1 Pyroclasm. That was just a whoopsie on my end. Outside of that, deck is overall pretty good. I think Taigam is just too slow for Legacy, and before I did this video, I did a search in Modern, and Taigam has a singular finish even in Modern. So I think the 2-drop that doesn't pay off until like turn 6 is not where you want to be. if the games do drag on that long, you can see a pretty big cascade of cards. But I think this deck is better with 3 more copies of Boomerang Basics and Murktide Regent, or a handful of DRCs, and you just go and play the game that normal Izzet Tempo is playing. That said, if you are trying to play Taigam and play some enchantments at the same time, like, this is significantly better than what was originally submitted, and this was a fun league with intricate gameplay. Taigam did not get sideboarded out in every round. Taigam got sideboarded out sometimes. Taimiyo definitely did a lot of heavy lifting this league, like Taimiyo and Stormchaser's talent. If I was going to adjust this list further, I think I either consider going up another land or going down some wastelands for other persistent mana sources. You just never want a 1-lander if possible, because you always want to play 2-drop into Bobble. So I think I like 20th land, maybe another basic island. Alright, with that, I think I'm going to go ahead and call it a day. I hope you enjoyed, and if the BNR announcement is up by the time this video is over, throw your reactions down in the comments below, and I intend to make my own video response for tomorrow. Have a great rest of the day, folks. See ya!